Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims info/thoughts video. So I hope you like speculation, because if yesterday's video where I speculated about the future of stuff packs wasn't enough for you, I got some fresh speculation about what could be happening with the expansion packs for this year, more specifically when we might be getting them. And to go over that, we need to discuss the Legacy Edition for The Sims 4, which was just recently announced. So EA My posted, "Dear Simmers, today we are announcing some changes to the supported specifications for The Sims 4 on PC and Mac. As of June 2019, this is a date that's going to be important later on in the video, we will no longer support The Sims 4 on non-Metal Mac OS machines or PC 32-bit operating systems. Apple has announced plans to phase out support for graphics processing technology called OpenGL, and will be moving to a new technology known as Metal. Due to this change, we will upgrade The Sims 4 to work with Metal. For those that cannot upgrade to a Metal supporting operating system, The Sims 4 Legacy Edition will be made available to you. Please see the FAQ below. This update will also retire support for 32-bit operating systems on PC. We regularly evaluate our technologies and to continue growing, improving, and optimizing the game. We have made the decision to retire 32-bit support. If you are a PC player who cannot update to a 64-bit operating system, The Sims 4 Legacy Edition will be made available to you. And also please see the FAQ below. We want to thank all Simmers who have played or are still playing The Sims 4. So to summarize the Legacy Edition, it's made for existing owners of The Sims 4. It won't be made available to people who will get the game after the update happens. This Legacy Edition is a separate application you'll have to download once it's released, whether you're on a 32-bit PC or a non-Metal Mac operating system. Future updates and packs will not be supported by the Legacy Edition. It will only work with everything up to and including the Strangerville game pack. And all online features won't work either. Existing save files do work, and as far as mods and custom content goes, that's up to the individual creators as to whether they'll support the Legacy Edition or not. So I find it quite interesting that they're doing all of this to help support people with older computers, while also keeping the game more up to date for those of us who do have more current systems. So maybe they will be able to do more things with future packs, because I know many of us were very disappointed with the size of Del Sol Valley, and they were saying that they made it the size that it was because of performance. But maybe they won't have to worry as much about that after this update is put out, so we'll wait and see how that goes. But this leads into my speculation as to what we're going to be getting with expansion packs this year in terms of release dates, because yeah, as it says near the beginning of that post, that update is planned to be coming out June of this year. So you already could speculate that we may already be getting the 7th expansion pack for The Sims 4 in June, because EA Play has been announced to be happening during June once again, and Seasons did come out in June last year as well. But I think now that we have this big update that's coming out in June that's going to help optimize the game a bit more, I think that's an even better reason to believe that we are going to get an expansion pack in June, because why put out this optimization, updates, and the Legacy Edition in June of all times? You may remember last year when they announced months in advance the Python update that was going to break so many mods, and I ended up predicting that this was going to come out alongside an update for the next expansion pack, because they ended up saying that, oh, this is tentatively scheduled for November, and sure enough, that did happen. We got a huge game update, and we got Get Famous in November as well. So I think history might be repeating itself here. Not to mention, when that Python update was announced, we didn't know about Get Famous. It was not announced yet, And right now, we don't know what Expansion Pack 7 is going to be. Of course, right now, this update is only tentatively planned for June, so there is a chance that it could be delayed, but I know I was taking that risk too when I made that prediction last fall with the Python update, because they also said, oh, if all goes as planned, it will be released in November. But thankfully, it still did, so I still feel pretty safe making this prediction that this update is going to come out right before a new expansion pack. As for what the expansion pack might be, I'm not too sure, but if this is something where they felt they really needed to drop 32-bit support for, then it could be something that really does require more resources from your computer to run well. So perhaps it's a farming expansion pack that comes with a fairly big world, that comes with more than one 64 by 64 lot for once. Or it could be university, because then there might be some sort of new world type that they're introducing, because going to university, while it is kind of like a travel world, it doesn't really fall into the same category as vacation worlds, which we have 2 of so far with The Sims 4. So that could also maybe be a thing where it's like, okay, we need to kinda up the requirements a bit more to support this. So yeah, there's multiple ways it could go, I guess, but those are basically my top 2 predictions right there. I mean, university would be kinda cool to see next, just because it's always like consistently one of the most popular requests that I've seen for expansion packs ever since university started becoming a thing with The Sims. Because I remember with The Sims 3, it was very heavily requested, and yeah, with The Sims 4, it definitely has been as well. But now we're leading into the second part of my theory here, that we are actually going to be once again getting 2 expansion packs in 2019 instead of just 1. Because if we do get an expansion pack in June, then that also drastically increases the chances of a second expansion pack coming out just in time for the holiday season. And here I'm basically going to repeat the same speculation that I did just after Seasons was announced, because in the video game industry, launch week sales matter a lot to companies. Since many people may be buying The Sims 4 or said expansion pack as a holiday gift, it makes a lot of financial sense to launch their biggest pack type during that time, instead of relying on whatever expansion pack they already released 6 months ago that many people may have already bought. And sure enough, my prediction did come true last year. We ended up getting Get Famous in November. So this could very well happen again, even though the Sim Gurus do like to say that they always change things up. But I don't know, maybe we'll get the expansion pack 8 in October or December or something like that. Because I think there's just like a certain amount of lengths that they're going to change things, but some things will always be similar, I'm sure. And like I mentioned in yesterday's video, it has been a year since we got the last stuff pack, My First Pet Stuff, and since they do tend to shuffle SimGurus around to different development teams with The Sims 4 all the time, it wouldn't be surprising to me if, with the lack of stuff packs recently, this has also given them more time to work on more expansion packs, possibly game packs as well. And I definitely would love to see 2 expansion packs this year. So far, I was not really leaning too hard into the optimistic side of things, thinking, well, we got 2 expansion packs last year, that must have taken a lot out of them, so maybe we'll end up going back to only 1 expansion pack this year. But yeah, especially now with this whole Legacy Edition update happening in June, it is giving me more solid reasoning as to, well, maybe we are going to get 2 expansion packs this year again. And going back to what I think they may be, I feel like University might make more sense to release in the fall if we get 2 expansion packs, because it's like, oh yeah, fall, back to school and that sort of thing. Even though, yeah, you could also make the case that many people graduate in June. I don't know, I feel like it makes more sense to release University with the start of that school time instead of the end. And, well, I don't really know for sure how high the chances are of a farming expansion pack happening. It's not really as highly requested as University, I don't think, but I do think if they were to do it, it would make more sense to release that during the summer, though again, yes, maybe it could also make sense to release that in fall, what with harvesting and all that stuff, but as for like growing crops and taking care of animals and such, yeah, I think that does make more sense to release during the summer. And even though we did get those farming sets through the Sims 3 store, and actually that's what this footage is showing by the way, we haven't really got a full expansion pack specifically focused on farming. So I think it would be a nice little change of pace if that did end up being the next expansion pack instead of University. They could do something a little bit different than what we're used to seeing with expansion packs, but not going as far out bizarre as with the Strangerville game pack. I would like to see a tropical island vacation sort of pack where it has ocean swimming and scuba diving and a whole bunch of cool stuff, but I don't know about that, because that sort of theme I've noticed tends to release towards the end of the life cycle of the Sims game. I guess the Sims one, that was a little bit of an exception. That was more towards the middle with the Sims Vacation. But otherwise, yeah, Island Paradise with the Sims 3, that was one of the very last expansion packs. And the same with Bon Voyage for the Sims 2. And we did just get a new vacation destination last year with Jungle Adventure, so I'm not really sure how willing they are to already put out another vacation world so quickly. Well, assuming if it does end up being a vacation world of any kind, because I would ideally love to see it be a hybrid where it can work as a vacation world, but you could earn your right to live there permanently as well. So even though I really want a tropical island pack, and I know this is a very big request from the community as well, I don't know, I'm still doubtful that we'll get it this year. Next year, oh yeah, I'm sure there's a very high chance that we'll get it in 2020. But yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I do think University is the most likely out of all the ideas that I discussed. And that wraps up another Sims info/thoughts video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Will you be using the Legacy Edition of the game once it comes out? And do you think we'll be getting one expansion pack in 2019 or two? And be sure to leave a like or a comment or even subscribe, because it lets me know that you really like my content and it helps you keep up to date more easily with my latest stuff from The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!